part of our QC, we're just going to clean up those, some of the holes that were remaining there. Like I said, I'm not going to go through every single edge, like some of these could be fixed. But for this class, I think it's good enough result versus like a feature film thing. Yeah, so I'm just going to go through back to the alpha and double check some of those areas. So you can see if we compare sort of, it's probably a frame by frame sort of thing. So basically, for example, on frame 43, I had a little bit of this hole. And so I would just go with a RotoPaint node and sort of merge this over the alpha. And I would make sure that's 4K because it's before our thing. And then I would just go with a really soft paintbrush and sort of fill that alpha in. So you see I'm just doing it right after the pre-comp, and that's just going to make it a little bit faster. So if I just go there and paint a little stroke, we can see what that's going to do. And it's going to be a little bit heavy because we have all of those edge fixes and everything coming after. So, that's all part of it. But you can kind of pre-comp stuff and work faster if you want to, just to do a section. So, for example, you could pre-comp all of this. You could pre-comp the entire back script. But I'm not going to do that just because I'm just going to fix a few frames here, and that will be that. So that's just how you do it. And I'll go and darken the little edge that appears here as well, and just with our edge techniques, and that's pretty much it for the QC. So this would be sort of close to the final, and I guess we could just rewatch it here. So that would be, I'm gonna apply the little changes we made, the merge changes. It's not pre-rendered yet, but this is pretty close to the final, and then we make a couple little fixes, and that's pretty much it. So that's how you go from complete green screen shot like this to a shot like this. So we've went quite far. You can see we've basically come from, if we go back to the unintegrated version, this is what it looked like if we just merged it over just using keys without all of our integration techniques. So obviously the integration techniques have gotten us to this place. So if we compare and we do like a wipe, you can see the amount of work that's been done here, and how it feels much more integrated. It doesn't feel cut out, and that's something we could put on basically a movie screen and it would hold up. So that's pretty much it for this part of the class. And we'll probably move on to one final lecture, just talking about stuff. I'll just make sure I haven't forgotten anything, but those are pretty much all the main techniques. And if you guys have gotten to this point, if you actually get this to this point, honestly, if you understand keying to the level that I've taught you in this course, and if you go back and you rewatch things, and you'll get faster with time and everything like that. If you understand keying to this level and you can pull a key at this level, you could probably get a job as a junior compositor right now. So if you could create this shot and create a couple more shots on your demo reel that show this level of proficiency, if I was starting a company and I had my company, I was looking for junior compositors, I would consider this a really impressive result because you see that the person knows how to combine a bunch of things and despail, and you can show a breakdown as well. So you could show something like this and do a breakdown of all the color corrections and really make an impressive demo reel piece in your portfolio, just doing, what would be considered, a basic key. And this is not a basic key because it's on this type of background. And this will make you stand out quite a lot versus the people who are just doing a really basic green background and placing one key light node. This shows a lot more skill and ability, especially if you show all the integration. You could even break it down and show, you could do a draw over and show all the little changes in your way of thinking. So, my script is here. You can review it. You can go through. I have set up the thing. You guys hopefully have been working on some of it. If you didn't do the full shot, I recommend doing it just to see if you can get it to that level. And like I said, this would be a good demo reel asset, but also you'd probably need to demonstrate some other things in your reel, so some 3D stuff. We talked about that in Nuke 202 if you guys are familiar with my other classes, projections and stuff like that, and maybe some CG compositing as well in there. But really the core skills of compositor, rotoscoping, color grading, integration, understanding how those things go together, as well as some projections in the 3D system. That's primarily what's going to get you a job. If you have CG on your reel as well, that's going to stand out quite a lot. So I have more courses on the way coming for that, which I'll mention probably in the next video for a final wrapping up of where we went. And yeah, that's pretty much it for QC. So like I said, hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and I'll do a last video after this.